Mercury retrograde meaning: is there a positive side? Mercury retrograde is upon us once again. July 7th until July 31st. Here's what you need to know. Mercury retrograde is infamous for being a time of challenge and miscommunication where life turns upside down. There are ongoing jokes that it's best just to stay in your house during Mercury retrograde. To avoid traveling, avoid talking to people, stop taking on new projects, signing paperwork, or making decisions. While there's a small level of truth in some of this, there has become this massive cultural superstition and stigma about Mercury retrograde that's actually incredibly disempowering. Astrology is meant to shine a light on the energetic influences happening, so we can know what is coming, respond accordingly, and use the energies to thrive. Not to say, oh well, I guess the next month is going to be challenging. Bummer. Honestly, Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times per year, so the whole avoid people and stay indoors approach really isn't realistic. Plus, there are so many positives to Mercury retrograde when you're aware of its archetypal influence, and choose to consciously make the most of these almost month-long retrograde periods. Keep in mind, astrological influences like Mercury retrograde are based on the basic premise that each of the planets in the sky has an effect on us in the physical. The position of the planets, their movement, and the relationships between them and us influence everything from personality, mood, relationships, as well as personal and global events. In astrology, the planet Mercury rules communication, intelligence, memory, self-expression, technology, and transportation. So depending on where Mercury lies in your birth chart, a great deal about how you communicate, perceive and relate to the world around you can be revealed. So what is Mercury retrograde really? The planet Mercury orbits the Sun at a faster rate than the Earth, and so a few times a year, Mercury catches up with Earth, and passes us on our journey around the Sun. When Mercury makes the pass, from our perspective it appears to slow down, stop completely and then move backwards. This backwards movement is the retrograde period. Of course, it's not really moving backwards, it's just an optical illusion from Mercury passing the Earth in its orbit, between the Earth and the Sun. 3 times a year, Mercury makes this pass in orbit, and from our perspective on Earth it appears to move backward, which astrology identifies as a retrograde, and with Mercury retrograde it lasts about 3 weeks. The Mercury archetype is an archetypal symbol. The planet Mercury represents thought and communication that is created through thinking, writing, speaking, and teaching. As I mentioned above, Mercury is also related to travel, communication, and technology. So the common belief is that when Mercury is retrograde, appearing to move backwards, these areas of life move backward, upside down, and act haywire for about 3 weeks as well. Mercury retrograde definitely has a bad rap. Many people associate it with communication mishaps, lost keys, technology challenges, travel delays, electronic failures, and more. With a basic search you can find long lists of things to avoid and things that could go wrong for you this retrograde period. Sponsored links, but remember, you're co-creating your life experience. So yes, if you focus on all the negative aspects of Mercury retrograde, they will likely manifest for you. There are, however, some advantages to the Mercury retrograde period too. If you haven't heard about them, I'm not surprised. It is easier to focus on the challenges, but becoming aware of the opportunity can help you to consciously make the choice to embrace the unique energy of Mercury retrograde, and to use this time to manifest blessings in your life throughout the rest of the year. Mercury retrograde, a positive meaning? Mercury retrograde has a way of opening our eyes up to what we were unable, unwilling, or just too busy before to actually see. This makes Mercury retrograde a wonderful time to review what you are doing. Rather than jumping into something new, it's a great time to finish up existing projects, refine and make your existing work better, and reveal solutions and innovations where you may have felt blocked or stagnated before. It may also be easier to see things from another vantage, or another person's perspective. Or during Mercury retrograde, subconscious issues and patterns may come up for you to review, reflect upon and resolve. Retrogrades are an opportunity to slow down and shift your focus inward. Yes, sometimes you will need to be extra patient, as transportation, technology, and communication processes may reveal some issues or take a bit more time. But when you're open to the energy of Mercury retrograde, this doesn't have to be a bad thing and can all be like a breath of fresh air when you realize it's okay to slow down a bit, be patient, and let things work themselves out. Sometimes stepping out of your normal routine, as Mercury may trigger for you, is the best way to refresh yourself, gain a deeper understanding, or see things in a new way. Mercury retrograde does sometimes show us things we need to redo, fix, or change completely. So rather than being frustrated when you realize something needs to be rebuilt, think of it as an opportunity to create something even better than you would have before. Mercury retrograde and communication. In terms of communication, some people might tell you to stay indoors, unplug your phone, and avoid talking with everyone so you can limit communication issues that sometimes seem to be more prevalent during Mercury retrograde. While communication can sometimes be more challenging during this time, those sticky conversations usually have a purpose and can lead to breakthroughs, deeper insights, and more authentic relationship connections. Mending past conflicts, clearing miscommunication, and clearing karma are all very real possibilities for the types of powerful communication work that can come about during Mercury retrograde. It's also a great time to reflect on your own communication style with yourself and others. How can you more lovingly communicate your meaning while still speaking your truth? What does your inner voice and self-talk sound like? Are you loving and supporting yourself, or could how you talk to yourself be an area in need of an overhaul? The key is to trust your intuition, be honest, and keep your heart open to make the most of the communication opportunities during this time. Remember, Mercury is not really moving backward, it's just an illusion. Keep this in mind when things like communications, technology, or travel seem to be moving backward for you. It's all for a purpose, and rather than backward movement, it's an opportunity to make things better, finish something more completely, or look at things in a new way you may have missed the first time around. Sponsored links. Mercury retrograde is the perfect time to practice patience, to reflect on your life and what you're working on, to finish your current projects, and to view reality and all aspects of life in a more positive and entirely new light. Most importantly, stay positive, keep your heart open, and know that very soon Mercury will once again be direct and you'll be moving forward at a rapid pace in all areas of your life. And remember, you have powerful support from angelic beings. So let's look at that. The Archangels and Mercury retrograde. Insight into which archangels to call upon during Mercury retrograde can be found by looking at the astrological correspondences. Archangel Raphael. The planet Mercury is traditionally associated with Archangel Raphael. In addition to healing, Archangel Raphael also oversees travel, which is one of the areas Mercury retrograde is known to complicate. Call on Archangel Raphael to help smooth out any hurdles or challenges you may encounter while traveling during Mercury retrograde. Learn more about Archangel Raphael here. As a planet, Mercury is the astrological ruler of signs Gemini and Virgo. Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel is the archangel corresponding with Gemini, and also happens to be the archangel of communication. Call upon Archangel Gabriel during Mercury retrograde to help keep the lines of communication clear and open. Gabriel can also help to ease challenges with technology, especially those related to communication such as cell phones, the internet, and computers. If you're feeling a bit worn out and drained, ask Gabriel to surround you with her golden healing light to refresh your energy and give you the strength to continue onward. Learn more about Archangel Gabriel here. Archangel Metatron. Finally, Archangel Metatron is the archangel who corresponds with Virgo, also ruled by Mercury. Metatron offers incredibly powerful support anytime there are energetic shifts happening, like right now. He can help you make the most of the Mercury retrograde energies by not only staying balanced, but also supporting you in reviewing where you are, re-evaluating the path you're on, and realigning with your true soul path and purpose on a deeper level. Learn more about Archangel Metatron here. Really, to make the most of Mercury retrograde, think Re-stress a trivial reflect refresher evaluate reassess realign reviewer adore learn think or writer booter discover boot enjoy this little slowdown that is Mercury retrograde by taking the opportunity to breathe, review, refresh, and just be. Don't rush into things.